Broadcasting from Detroit's Cass Corridor, it's the Metro on WDET. I'm Tia Graham. This hour, we'll explore places to commune with nature. A new campground is opening up in Belleville, and a festival celebrating art and music in Palmer Park is happening this Saturday. Also, a bookstore in Royal Oak aims to offer selections that you may not find on the shelves. For Independent Bookstore Day, which is the last Saturday in April, we will chat with one of the owners of Sidetracked Books. But first, when you think of camping, where does your mind go? Somewhere remote up north maybe, several hours away from home. There are a lot of great places to camp in Michigan, but most of them exist outside of Metro Detroit. There are local options, though. For people who want to keep one foot in Metro Detroit and one in the tent, there's something close to home. The Walnut Grove Campground at Lower Huron Metropark in Belleville is one of just 2 public campgrounds in Wayne County. Joining me now to talk about the new campground and how to ease into camping this summer are 2 people who want to make the case for you to get outdoors and camp, even if it's your first time. Amy McMillan is the CEO of the Huron-Clinton Metroparks, and Holly Clegg is the Park Operations Manager at Lower Huron Metropark. Thank you both for joining us on the Metro.
Oh, thanks so much for having us today.
Of course. So, Holly, let's start with the Walnut Grove Campground at Lower Huron Metropark in Belleville. What is this campground like?
Well, it's a new to us with the water and electric, but it's a facility that's been here since 2012. So we're really excited to reopen this summer with some new features and amenities to a beloved campground that's been here for a few years.
Yeah. And when we talk about 2012 and you guys opening it up, what was it like in the beginning in those times?
It was really exciting knowing that we were bringing a new facility to the Metro Detroit area, because we haven't really ventured into camping at the Metroparks officially and for family camping. Yeah. So that was really exciting to be able to offer that to the community.
And, you know, Holly, I have tons of family. Most of my family all live in Belleville right now. So this is really exciting for us to possibly get our feet wet into doing some more family camping type of things. For you, Holly, are those who have not been before, like myself, what can people see or do at Lower Huron Metropark in addition to camping?
Well, Lower Huron Metropark features our wonderful water park, the Turtle Cove Family Aquatic Center. Yeah. So that's within walking distance if you dare, or you can just a short car ride from the campground. We also have a wonderful, beautiful, new to us in 2021, fully accessible playground, which is nearby and that is within walking distance. There's wonderful areas all along the river shores to do some fishing, and lots of hiking in both on a paved trail and also some areas where you can get off the beaten path into some little bit fun terrain.
Yeah. So bringing Amy into the conversation. Amy, hello.
Hello.
As part of the larger Metropark system, which spans 13 parks, 25,000 acres in Southeast Michigan, is there something special about this particular location that made it ideal for the renovation?
Oh, absolutely. So Lower Huron Metropark is one of our 4 parks in the Southern District, Lower Huron, Willow, Oakwoods, and Lake Erie Metroparks. And so Lower Huron is really easily accessible right off the highway. So if you are looking for a place to camp close to home, whether you're kind of an expert camper or you are new to camping, it is just such an easy place to come, and it is really the best place to come because the entire park is it's just spectacular. I came out to the park early today. We've got our red buds that are blooming throughout the park, and it's insanely gorgeous right now, and the grass is green and the sky is blue, and it smells so good. And so it's a really easy place to come and camp. And what I think is especially exciting about the campground here at Lower Huron is it's a relatively small campground, mm-hmm. right? So it's not one of those places where you camp where you can reach out the windows of your tent or your camper and touch the people next to you. The lots are really beautiful size. They're beautifully shaded. We have accessibility. Water and electric is huge.
It's huge.
If you are camping, nobody wants to lug water around or not be able to have electricity at their site. And for us, in addition to just how much we love our parks and we want to do a great job in serving our community, this is an answer to a request from our community, right? So we, every few years, we do community surveys and we ask people to rank the things that are most interesting and most important to them. And coming out of the pandemic, one of the things people were most interested in was a great camping experience locally here in Wayne County. And so when we were able to secure some grant funds to help offset the cost, and work with our team to design the new facilities and with feedback from the community, we were so excited to do that. And when we cut the ribbon on it a couple of weeks ago and roasted marshmallows and did the whole thing, it was really kind of, a full circle for us and a dream come true.
So, Amy, something else that stands out to me for Walnut Grove is that it connects to water and bike trails that go beyond the Metroparks as well. And that's something that we talk about here on the Metro, is connecting folks, whether it's through green spaces or bike trails. Can you talk about the larger connection that's happening there?
Absolutely. So one of my favorite things about the trail connectors here at Lower Huron, Willow, and Oakwoods is every park connects to every park here. So you can easily get on your bike and go from Lower Huron to Willow to Oakwoods. You can go all the way to Flat Rock.
Wow.
On our trails. And we connect to the Iron Bell Trail. So the connectivity is great. The scenery all along the way is spectacular. The signage is so easy to follow. And, we have restrooms along the route as you go through our parks. The trails are well maintained. They are well traveled. So you get that experience of both feeling like you're out by yourself in nature and also that you're not all alone in nature, so that you feel safe. And just, I don't know, they're just a really wonderful experience. I've got a few days coming up in May off, and I am bringing my bike and I am going to travel from Lower Huron to Flat Rock and back.
Okay, Amy, I need pictures. I'm going to need pictures.
Way to spend a day off.
Amy, I'm going to need pictures of that. We're going to need pictures for the web post. We're going to. Yes, that's amazing, Amy. And Amy, for those who may not have camped before or are interested, who can use the campground and how much does it cost?
Oh, everybody can use the campground, 100%. One of the great things about these improvements is that we have barrier-free camping now. So if you have mobility issues, if you use a wheelchair, if you've got kids and strollers that you need to push around, it's absolutely perfect for that. And our campground sites run from $35 to $45.
That's right.
And it depends on whether you have utilities or not. So it's a really affordable local vacation. And like I said, bring your bikes, bring a kayak, bring a fishing pole, or just, put on some sneakers to enjoy the entire experience. Sitting by the water, because the Huron River runs through the park, it rewires your brain in the best possible way.
You're listening to The Metro on WDET. I'm Tia Graham. We're talking about a newly renovated Walnut Grove Campground. It's part of Lower Huron Metropark in Belleville. I'm joined by Amy McMillan, the CEO of the Huron-Clinton Metroparks, and Holly Clegg, the Park Operations Manager at Lower Huron Metropark. Now, Holly, bringing you back into the conversation here, some people are interested in camping, like myself. I've gone once before. It was fine. But they're also interested. It was a good experience. And I would love to go to Metroparks as well. But, a lot of folks may be a little nervous. It may be a little bit of a stumbling block for some people to get into the groove of camping as well. The equipment can be expensive. What do you need to have gear-wise to camp at Walnut Grove?
Well, it's pretty simple. You just really need a tent, and you can get that for pretty reasonably priced at any local like Meijer, Walmart. Which is one thing I like to tell people, that if they are nervous about trying out camping, what's really great about Walnut Grove is you kind of get that up north feeling being right here next to Belleville, to a city. So if you did forget something, it's just a short drive away to a convenience store, or the right there in Belleville they have the Menards, and they have a
Yes.
Meijer, and they have
Yes.
a Walmart. So it's real easy for those last minute things you might have forgot. And then even if you aren't didn't travel too far from home, you can run back home and I forgot clean socks, or my shoes got wet, whichever it is. So that's really nice, and that is that proximity to local, are both, like Amy said, the proximity to 94, and to local towns. Other than that, a tent, it's if you can make it as cozy as you want. Some people bring air mattresses, some people just bring a blanket and a pillow. Sleeping bag is always nice for those cooler evenings, but if it's hot in the summertime, you may just need a light sheet or something like that. Definitely recommend bug spray, and if you're going to be walking the trail, you might want to consider some sunblock for during the day activities. But it's not too difficult. There's a lot of good opportunities out there also for to try camping with some equipment assistance. We do at one of Amy mentioned another park over at Lake Erie. We have some wonderful camping programs throughout the summer. One at Lower Huron, and we have one at Lake Erie, and they do have equipment available for first time use. Our first time campers to try some equipment out during that weekend programming over there.
And Holly, thank you for letting us know that. The beauty of it is that folks aren't too far away from home, being in those being at Metroparks, especially in Belleville there. And you're describing downtown Belleville, and you are right. There is everything that you could possibly need right there in driving distance. So it's like the perfect little space, perfect little getaway. And as well, for those who are listening, some libraries and community groups will lend out tents. It's not super common, but it is worth calling your local library to find out if they have anything you could take with you as you do decide to get out there in nature. So Holly, just sticking with you, there's also something very helpful about going with someone who has camped before, but not everyone has that person right by them. How can people get the one-on-one lesson in camping if they're doing it for the first time?
So if they are doing it for the first time, they're welcome at any time to call the park office. Some of us are pretty seasoned in starting like a campfire and get you going. We do offer wood sales here at the park, so we're able to help people out with that. And they can just call the park office anytime, and anything they feel uncomfortable with doing on their own for the first time, we'd love the chance to help them. Better just to have that great experience first time out.
So Amy, we're going to bring you back into this conversation for a moment. Are the Metroparks accessible even for seniors?
Oh, absolutely. So we work really hard to make sure that we are serving every member of our community. So many of our facilities are fully accessible. We work hard to make sure that everything is well signed. So if you're looking to, maybe you can't get out of your car and walk or ride a bike, just being able to connect, drive through the park and connect with nature that way. One of the things I love to do, especially early in the mornings when the parks open or toward the end of the evening, the light in the parks is so spectacular. Or just, park in the parking lot, and, a few feet from your parking space, you'll almost certainly find a park bench where you can sit and enjoy being outside. We have, and like Holly was saying, we have really extraordinary staff members. Our team is so helpful. And if anybody needs some help, we are here for that always. Whether it's answering a question before you come to the park, or if there's a problem when you get here, we are going to do everything we can to make sure that you're going to have a great experience. So you come back over and over and you have those memories for yourself and for your family. One of the things we love most is when we interact with visitors and they tell us about when they came here when they were a kid, or when they brought their families for the first time, or about a church picnic, or a class reunion, because those are the things that really I mean, those are the things that really are part of who we are, right? Our memories anchor ourselves to our communities, and we're a big part of that.
Amy, I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. And the class of 2010 of Henry Ford Academy, we definitely did our senior skip day there. We definitely did our senior skip day. I will never forget that. And my
statute of limitations totally passed. Yeah,
exactly. And as well, my graduation party was there. So it's very important to who I am and in my growth as a person as well. So I am very grateful for the Metropark system being where it is and being where it is. But before we get out of here, you've mentioned, Amy, a lot that Metroparks offer beyond camping, like canoeing or hiking. But at face value, at least those require a certain amount of mobility. How do you make outdoor recreation accessible and inclusive?
So the accessibility and inclusivity side really is concentrating when we're doing construction, right? Mm-hmm. So Holly talked earlier about the gorgeous playground we have here at Lower Huron. That is a fully accessible playground. Our bathrooms have accessible stalls, and equally importantly, we have accessible pathways that lead to our bathrooms. So whether it's the pool or a campsite or a restroom facility, we take a lot of care and a lot of pride in thinking things all the way through. And we work with some really great groups from throughout the area that advise us on accessibility and who come and bring programs to the parks to kind of connect people with mobility impairments to the parks and learn how to use our basketball courts, for example, as sporting opportunities. So really, if you think there's something that we're missing, tell us, and we will continue to do better.
Amy McMillan is the CEO of the Huron-Clinton Metroparks, and Holly Clegg is the Parks Operation Manager at Lower Huron Metropark. The Walnut Grove Campground is the only public campground in a natural setting in Wayne County, and it's newly renovated. You can reserve campsites online. It opens early May through mid-October, and there's a family campout night at Walnut Grove Campground on July 24th and July 25th. We'll put links on that on our website, wdet.org/metro. Thank you both so much for joining us on the Metro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, we highlight a local independent bookstore ahead of Independent Bookstore Day this Saturday. You all stay right there. We'll learn a little bit more about Sidetrack Bookshop.